Okay, we will start this meeting at 4:01. Always great to start the last meeting a little late. So we will start with roll call. Senator Biggs.
Present.
Senator Erickson.
Here.
Senator Moy.
Here.
Senator Schmidt.
Here.
Senator Adedeji. Senator Owusu.
Here.
Senator Andrade Lara.
Here.
Senator Bejarano.
Here.
Senator Landis.
Here.
Senator Nowinski. Senator Vrighty.
Here.
Senator Stillwell.
Here.
Senator O'Caro.
Here.
Senator Christensen.
Here.
Senator Kintan. Senator Pospisil.
Here.
Senator Chaiti.
Here.
Senator Sajal. Senator Dahlk.
Here.
Senator Garton.
Here.
Senator Sampson.
Here.
Senator Moeen.
Yeah, just
Senator Mitchell.
here.
Senator Hoyseth.
Here.
Senator Roebuck.
Here.
Senator Albright.
Here.
Senator Medinez.
Here.
I am here. President Cronin.
Here.
Vice President Omar. Awesome. So there are no presentations today. So is there anyone here for open forum? Open forum? No? Cool. It's going to be a quick meeting today. Is there any dissent to approving the consent agenda? Any dissent? Any dissent? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. We will now go into officer reports. President Cronin.
Thank you. So first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to everyone for making it through the year. It's been a really good year, and I'm happy that all of you around the table decided to serve. You definitely have made an impact on this university, and I hope that each of you know that and are aware of everything that you've done, and you should be really, really proud of the work that we've put in together as a Senate, and each of you individually. And so just a reminder, next week we will be having the banquet at 5 o'clock in the Johnson Alumni Room. So it'll be a fun time. There'll be food, there'll be awards for everybody, some fun time to get to, celebrate everybody and the things that each of us have done. With that though, I still do need senator reports from people, so I'm going to list off the people who I don't have the reports from. They aren't due till next week, but just so that way people are, did I say senator? I meant transition reports. Just so people are aware, so if I say your name, I do not have yours. If that's incorrect, see me after, but I do have, this does include physical copies I've received and electronic. So the following senators: Hoyseth, Roebuck, Albright, Chaiti, Sajal, Dahlk, Mitchell, Big, Erickson, Schmidt, Adedeji, Owusu, Andrade Lara, Bejarano, Nowinski, O'Vrighty, Stillwell, Akintan, Pospisil. Oh, that's it. So if I said your name, I do not have your report. It's really important that I get that because I will be making physical copies for the future Senate, as well as I have started a OneDrive file, so that way everyone will be able to electronically access it. So especially for new senators that will be inducted later today, they'll be able to start accessing that next week and look at it over the summer. So I think that'd be really beneficial for them to be able to have that. Next, I have 2 Senator of the Month trophies because I forgot to give out the one for March. So I just want to make sure that I did that. So the March Senator of the Month trophy is going to somebody who I've seen them in the office putting in a lot of work for the project that they've been tackling this whole year. Printed out probably 500 pages of off-campus housing agreements. The trees loved it, but then, they also took the time to go speak to the Mankato City Council, and I think it really just shows the dedication. They're showing them off. The dedication to, the city and, making sure that our voices are being heard outside the university. So the Senator of the March trophy, whatever, is Senator Natalie Garten. And then, as I mentioned, I have the Senator for April. So this is an individual who all year they've served on multiple committees. I actually just spoke with somebody the other day that really commended their work on a search committee that they participated with this year. So I just think it's really important that we all have to serve on 2 committees. So it's great to see that people are putting in the time and effort to those committees that they elect to be a part of, as well as, making sure that student representation is heard on search committees, and they've definitely, been active in multiple other committees as well and around the table, and have been very vocal at Senate meetings, which is also great. So that's why the April Senator of the Month is Senator O'Caro. But yeah, so we have inauguration at 5 o'clock. Everybody is invited. You'll be able to, watch the induction of next year's Senate, get to hear about the awards that student government gives out. So I really encourage everybody to attend. There's cake. That's why I'm going. But do you want me to show it off? Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. Senator O'Caro would like me to show off. This is the trophy that we got from Students United for our Students United Campus Committee. It's called the By the Book Trophy. From what I understand is they received it because our committee has been doing everything by the book. They're always reaching out to staff, and that's something I have also heard from staff, that they love hearing from our campus committee on a weekly basis about everything that we're doing. So this will be sitting in the office, but shout out to those of you around the table who are serving with Students United this year. But yeah, that's kind of the end of my last Senator report. Thanks. Senator? Drop this? No.
Oh no. Okay, moving on. Vice President Omar.
I just want to thank you guys all for an amazing year. Even though I came through a vacancy, you guys have made everything easy for me. Earlier today, I was speaking with Bill about the Student Basic Needs Committee, so I'll yield to you so you can figure out who's going to be here this summer to help us out.
Okay, great. Most of you probably know that this week Claire Katie visited campus, and she's a co-founder and director of the College and University Food Bank Alliance. And so she facilitated 3 sessions, one workshop, one public presentation, and one strategy session. And we had just a multitude of faculty, staff, students, community partners involved in those meetings. And after the last one concluded, a couple of faculty and staff came up to me and said, we have a lot of energy and enthusiasm right now, and we just spent a couple of days coming up with different ideas and different things that we want to pursue. When is the Basic Needs Committee going to start convening? And so there's interest and there's movement from faculty and staff and community partners who all want to continue working on these issues, and they all also want student involvement. This is a new student government committee. It's important to have student involvement, and so if any of you are interested in being on the Student Basic Needs Committee next year, again, that's an open invitation. You don't have to necessarily even be appointed as a voting member or anything like that. If you're interested in this, if you're going to be around this summer in particular, there are people around this campus who would love this to start convening as soon as possible. So I know that incoming President Omar and incoming Vice President Trenny sent around an email earlier this week that had selections for committees that you'd like to be involved with. That is a great way to communicate that you want to be involved with that committee, is to fill out that form, make that one of your choices. And once again, remember that it's open. As many of you all can serve on that as you wish. There's no maximum limit. Thank you.
Awesome. So my Senate report, our final and possibly the best dressed person in the room, our final Dean of the Day is the Social and Behavioral Sciences Dean, Dr. MAVRIK. Blazer, I love maroon suits. Matching, I got maroon pants. Sorry. Anyways, yep. Look, guys. So please make sure you guys come to inauguration if you're able to. And also, thank you guys for allowing me to finish out the year as your guys' speaker. I really appreciated the experience and making sure, and all the feedback that I got from all of you. And I know that I've grown a lot in the role, and I accredit that to all of you, so thank you guys so much. With that, is there any questions for any officers? I realized we didn't ask throughout. No? Awesome. So moving into Senator reports, Senator Roebuck.
Did you do the other one first, just because my computer is like not starting up?
Yeah. Senator Wosu?
Mine is going to be really, really short. Senator Adedeji and I are going to continue working on MAVRIK throughout next semester, even after we're done. Oh, Senator Adedeji and I are going to keep working on MAVRIK even after this term of ours is over. We're in the implementation phase for the mentorship program at the College of Business, and we're meeting about it next week, Friday.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Questions? Seeing none. Thank you, Senator. And back to Senator Roebuck.
Now we're good. So, I'm Senator Roebuck. First name is Quinlan, if no one's heard that. It's a day, so I'm rambling. Anyway, this is my last meeting as a senator, so I kind of wanted to do like one more little thing that I could like pass on for next year's Senate. So me and RHA President Andrew Trenny went and talked to Cindy Janey and got some like advice / had her help us kind of work through some of our questions and things concerning the wet tailgating thing. So we kind of just had a conversation about what our concerns were and why we couldn't support this at the moment. And that some of it was, yes, based on some emotional reaction, but we worked through that and then kind of decided like these are some things that like could change our support for it. If we had this information, maybe we would support it as, like eventually. Just kind of one thing that like was my emotional reaction was just, you know, experiencing Spring Jam this past weekend and being on duty and seeing what an event looks like off campus like that. Involving drinking and just watching a lot of underage students participate in that, even though it is a controlled environment with the police. That definitely has shaped my view on it. And technically 2 CAs are on duty, but really everyone's on duty if they're in the building. And then how, like a big thing is like how would wet tailgating affect like res life staffing on the weekends? Because this would be something that underage students might be participating in. So that's one of our like things that we need to get a better understanding of things that need to get done, and then what would it take for a senator to reconsider this policy. One thing would be staffing, like who would do this or monitor this. Would like to see like an effective enforcement plan, because is security going to be staffing it? Is like the police department going to be there? How are we going to fund that? Different things. Location, just would like to know where a specific location would be. Who is it geared towards? Because we did a breakdown of student like age, and freshmen it's 18 to 19, sophomore 19 to 20, junior 20 to 21, and then seniors 21 to 22-ish. And that's just the traditional way that you follow, like a traditional 4-year and everything. So is this geared more towards seniors then, who can drink? Is it geared towards alumni, community members? We would just like to see like who the target audience is. We'd also like to know how we plan on dealing with students who are under 21. And then just, there was a claim saying there are a majority of students being over 21. Is that true? Just knowing what the statistics are behind that. And then also when students get caught drinking in the parking lot, because that's where this would be, who deals with that? Because at the moment, Res Life already deals with parking lot cases, the hall directors, and that was one of the questions that the hall director had for me is, do they have to deal with that since they already deal with them? Because that would add a lot of work to them, so when they hold the conduct meetings. And then kind of talked about how like we've done tailgating with friends and family in high school. My parents drank, but I didn't. How do we create an environment that is family friendly for alumni bringing their families? So is it geared towards the community in that way? Because you did talk about having Senator Posh-Bishop talked about having it as like a private area. How would that affect the family part of tailgating? Just maybe like seeing like a plan for that on how that would be. And then just like a clear set of benefits for the university, just laid out like what benefits does the university see from having wet tailgating and bringing that here. And overall, we would just like more information because we just want some like credible sources and statistics and then some considerations that are important to the university plan. Yeah. And I yield to questions.
Awesome. Just a reminder to keep your questions to specifically questions. If you want to have a discussion, you can motion to open up discussion in new business. With that, are there any questions? Senator Pospisil.
Have you spoke with any of the vice presidents that have been working on this?
No, I was actually hoping that David Jones would be here to more so point it towards him since he's the one that's kind of like taking it. But did you like write some of them down? Like
I have a list.
Okay, and I can also send you like what we put down. It was more of like a general like, hey, here's some things to consider for next year's Senate and stuff when this like starts.
And did you contact, I know you didn't contact me, but did you contact Logan possibly? Any of the people that were working on it?
I did not contact any students because I feel like it's not really in the students' hands anymore. I should be contacting David Jones, but I should contact him.
Also, please make sure to ask for multiple follow-ups if you have multiple, but you can continue since no one else is going.
No further questions.
No further questions? Awesome. Are there any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Senator Roebuck. With that, we will now be moving into old business with the motions that we discussed last week. I do understand that a lot of the senators had to leave due to other commitments because the meeting went longer than we thought it would. So if President Cronin could quick just go over her explanation for why she put forth this motion once again, so then we can move into an informed discussion.
Yes, so this was the motion that would create a standard meeting time for student and academic affairs committees next year at 3 p.m. prior to the Senate meeting. This has been something that's been trying to be discussed for the last several years to standardize that, because over the last couple years at least that I've seen in my involvement, I've gone to student affair meetings where there's been 3 student affair members. Academic affairs last year was having 2 meetings a week to accommodate everybody on the committee. And so with this, it would just, make it into something that it would be well known that if you're going to be a part of Senate, you need to be available from 3 to 6 p.m. because you have your required committee at 3, and then you have your Senate meeting at 4. And then I also think, it would increase attendance. It would be able for more administrators, staff, and faculty to attend these meetings in the event that the committees want to talk to them. And it would also work well because then if they're people who are not senators, they don't have to be knowing whether or not, the meeting's running late or the meeting's running shorter if we were to do this post-Senate meeting. So with it starting at 3, it's always at 3 to 4. And then if Senate gets done at 4:30, then everybody can leave at 4:30 instead of having to hang around till 6 o'clock for a student or academic affairs meeting. So.
Are there any questions about, to be asked to the author of this motion? Are there any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, we will now move into discussion on this motion. We will be voting on this motion today, so make sure if you do have discussion points to bring them up now to describe your vote. The discussion list is now open. Are there any discussion points? Senator Roebuck. Or Hoysa.
Yeah.
I'm moving quick, sorry guys.
I think that we should vote to pass this motion because there have been some really dedicated people who have wanted to serve on the student affairs activity, student affairs committee, but haven't been able to because we meet at such a random time, and it's just sometimes when these meetings get done at 5, they don't know, and we don't text them to communicate that. I'm thinking specifically Patrick Flynn, who's really dedicated, does a lot, and has a lot of knowledge that we could really benefit from if he was able to come to every meeting. So I think that 3 p.m. is a good time. We can use that time also as a work time, and we should vote to pass it.
Thank you. Are there any other discussion points? Any other? Senator Moy.
Call the question.
Is there a second? Is there any dissent? Seeing no dissent, we will now go to a vote on this motion. And all in favor, please raise your placard. Any opposed? And any abstaining? None. This amendment, this motion does pass 27-0. Moving into, okay, we're not gonna go. We can now move into the second motion. This one was also put forth by President Cronin, so if you could just go over a brief summary again.
Yes, so this would allow for the creation of a new student orientation fee. So this would really aid our new student-friendly programs in the sense that it would help support them better to provide orientations for students, as well as kind of, make that cost more effective for the students and the families that are attending. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it'll just really aid us also with the administration in this language to allow for such. Yeah, that's it.
So are there any questions to the author of the motion? Any questions, Senator Landis?
Just to be clear, the motion describes this as a current voluntary orientation fee. Will it remain a voluntary orientation fee or in its new structure?
To my understanding, no. So it would become a fee that students would pay, but it would also go towards, it's not necessarily just for orientation. So like one thing that I had discussed with Vice President Jones about this fee is that it would also include your graduation fee. So for those of you who might be graduating soon, you might know I just paid $57 to graduate. With the installation of this fee, it would include orientation and your wrap-up fee. Too, so it wouldn't be voluntary, but then it would also go towards aiding, because just if you don't attend an orientation doesn't necessarily mean that new student-friendly programs doesn't have work being done to aid you, and emails that are sent out, and people who answer phone calls and stuff like that to aid the students who register as new or transfer students.
Are there any other questions? Senator Erickson?
I thought David Jones said that this was just to change the wording, but it was still voluntary for unless you
Am I wrong?
went to,
I'm wrong.
right? I don't know for sure. That's just, does anyone know? So I thought it was just if you went to orientation, because he mentioned how us as a campus, we don't force students to go to orientation. So it was still I don't know.
I guess I don't know the answer to that question, so I apologize for my understanding. I thought that it would be included to everybody, because it would then also cancel certain other fees that you have to pay. But
It's a min-state policy change, so it's changing throughout the entire system, and we have to pass it. And then, also in the amendment, it talks about how sorry, I lost where I was looking at, but it talks about how it also, any increase in this fee needs to go through student government in the future. So that's just a little bit more about why the motion was written and what it outlines. Are there any other questions for the author? Any other questions? Seeing no more questions, there is now a discussion list that is open. Are there any discussion points on this motion? Senator Landis.
And I just think we should all really understand what we're voting on. If there's, I don't know, if there can be I don't know what to do about that, because I can read this and interpret it as it's going to remain a voluntary discretionary fee, but someone else might read it and read it a different way. So how we can ensure that we all agree what it is and what it should be, I guess.
John?
If I can I just read the email that I have from Dave Jones?
Yes, please.
It says, Mimi, Anissa, and Emma, attached is a motion each university has been asked to consider this year. This is a result of last year's change in campus discretionary fees to accurately represent new student orientation activity. To date, we have charged our voluntary orientation fee under the special events category. It is not a great fit. The creation of this new fee will provide more transparency and require annual consultation with you regarding the fee amount. I believe it's a worthwhile change for several reasons as listed on the motion. It will be out, and then he was here last week to discuss anything, but that's what he had to say. So it's a clarification and moving of the fee to a line that makes more sense. That was the explanation. It's a label is essentially what it is.
Was there any other discussion points? Any other discussion points? Senator Hoysa.
So like from my understanding what we just read, it would just move it to like the line that we understand so that when we are discussing it, we're not just discussing special events, like whatever that means. We know specifically that this is a fee that's for new student planning programming for orientation. Does that make sense?
I don't know why I'm blanking on your name. Senator Nowinski.
Yeah, so Dr. Jones last week said that it's like changing the label and then the way that it's structured, that if they increase it, it'll have to go through our approval like other student fees. So because right now, last week I think he said something along the lines of, if we increase it $100, like we can just do that willy-nilly, like we don't need to consult anyone. So this is just moving it with a new label and with more consultation with the students. If I understood what he presented on last week correctly.
Is there any other discussion points? Any other discussion points? Any other discussion points? Seeing none, if there's no dissent, we will now move into a vote on this motion. Is there any dissent? Seeing none, awesome. So if you are in favor of passing this motion, please raise your placard. If you are opposed, please raise your placard. And if you are abstaining, please raise your placard. So this motion passes 24-0 to 3. Is there anything for new business, any motions to be made? John?
Madam Speaker, whether it's here, I'd like it on where it belongs on the agenda, but as a formality, we need to just make sure that the vacancies for Speaker and the Senate seats appear somewhere on the agenda and in the minutes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll put that in the speaker's correspondence and also in the minutes.
I didn't see them on here, so yes.
Yes, I will add that. I apologize. So the vacancies for next year will be in the correspondence. You can also find them online, and they were also presented to us last week by the Elections Commission as well. But I will send out a follow-up email with all those vacancies just to declare them vacant so then we can hold an election. Are there any other motions? Seeing none, we will now move into announcements. The ones that I have on the agenda is a picture after adjournment. We are waiting for David Bassey from the Reporter. I think he said he was on his way soon. So make sure you guys stay. We're all going to take a picture. It'll be fun. It'll be great. Also, the 87 student government inauguration is at 5 p.m. in the Hearth Lounge. You're all invited, as said before. Are there any other announcements? Senator, I am really messing up. Sorry. Senator Caro.
So, we're having Ed Day event here on campus, and it's through the Health Sciences program where we're having the Keep Butts Cigarette Butt Clean Up. So we'll clean up campus and make sure campus looks clean. So if you're interested, you can meet with Senator Sampson or Kayla, and they'll give you more information on how you can sign up. You get a cute t-shirt. What else do you get?
Just see me if you're interested.
Awesome. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Next on my speakers list is Senator Hoysa.
You remember my last Senate report, I talked about the LGBT lobby day that I was helping plan. So we're having an information session about that tomorrow at 1 p.m. in the LGBT Center. So if you want to come and like learn about what the lobby day is or what Outfront does with that, you can come. Also, if you won't be able to make it to the official lobby day, which is next Thursday, the 25th, you can just come and write letters to your senator talking about conversion therapy or advocating for LGBT people in Minnesota. So it'll be a fun event tomorrow, 1 p.m. in the LGBT Center. More information if you go to the LGBT Center's Facebook page. Oh my God, that was right. And then if you want to come to the lobby day, let me know. We're having people drive, which is next Thursday. Any questions about what that is all about? Cool. Thank you.
Are there any questions? Nope. Awesome. Next on my speakers list is Senator Garten.
So just an announcement about MAVRIK Adventures. We have our last pilot program on Monday. It's bird watching with Dr. Jonathan Hicks. Registration is open. We have a bunch of seats open and available for you. It is a free event, so just go online, register, and reserve your spot. Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, where do you register? Where, like, is it just...
So it's on the Facebook page, and there's a link on the MAVRIK Adventures outdoor programming, and then it's like, I think the second one, and it just brings you right to it.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions? Nope, thank you. Next on my speakers list is Senator Schmidt.
Hi, Arts and Humanities here. This is the last weekend of Hunchback of Notre Dame, so there are still tickets floating around somewhere. So yeah, if you guys want to go, it's Thursday at 7:30, Friday 7:30, Saturday it's 2 p.m. and 7:30 because Sunday is Easter. So yeah, come enjoy. It's really good. I'm backstage crew, so I'm in it in a way. It's fun. Acting is really good. People are really good. Yeah.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Next on my speakers list, I believe, is John. Awesome.
Congratulations on a great year. It's been great working with you. Yes, you deserve to give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for your commitment to the students and to getting stuff done. So it's been good to see some of the efficiency and some of the risk taking that's been done by this group this year. So look forward to celebrating that next week with you. Just a couple of things announcement-wise. Every finals week, Monday night, there is a late night breakfast hosted by the CSU, so everybody will be invited to that. Of course, on May 6th, I believe, is the actual date. In addition to that, RSO re-recognition process reopened on Monday. So if you're a part of an RSO that is not going to have huge officer transition, or if you are going to have huge officer turnover and you already have elected those officers, go ahead and get your recognition done now so you don't have to forget about it in the fall. And then I'm going to make this announcement on behalf of Mr. Cowan here. Tomorrow is your deadline to register or enter the gold permit drawing if you should so desire to get into a gold permit drawing. So
it's not fixed. It's not rigged.
So,
what I hear.
So that's what I have. I would hope that Senator Dahlk has another announcement about another event that's coming up on Monday as well. So
yes, Monday at 6 o'clock in Austin, it's Matt's Got Talent. So it'll be fun.
Is it too late to sign up?
I'd like to do that. We're kind of opening it up until tomorrow for certain.
Not too late, you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's also really important that we all go to Matt's Got Talents because Senator Mitchell will be performing a horse neigh.
Senator O'Carroll.
Okay, so my last announcement, on the 24th of this month, it will be Denim Day. So you could just wear any denims you have to show your support for the Women's Center, and also Health Pros would also be tabling in the CSU. It's just to show your support to sexual assault victims, showing support on that day. So just wear any denims you have and come out on the 24th of this month.
Senator Garden.
Is there going to be a photo taken?
Yes, there'll be a photo taken at the Waves, the red, I don't know how to explain where it is. It's near the west. It would be, no, it's the Waves, it's not the Waves. It's the Waves. It's gonna be from, so the tabling goes from 8 a.m. to about 4 p.m. and then the picture is about like, I think 2 p.m.
Are there any other announcements? Mark?
If anybody needs any dog therapy tomorrow night, we have the dogs coming in from 6:30 to 8:30 tomorrow down in the Lincoln Lounge. That's part of the CSU regular program as well. To piggyback after John, is want to thank you all for a great year, especially the seniors, those people, seniors and graduate students too, for helping us. Some of the rest of the folks might be back, but you might not be around this table. So thanks to everybody, but it's always a pleasure to work with you all on the CSU and student activities. Look forward to more and merrier next year. Thank you.
Are there any other announcements? If not, is there any dissent to me waiving the roll call so then we can start listening to David Bassey from The Reporter to do a picture? Is there any dissent to waiving the roll call? No. This meeting is adjourned at 4:35. But please pay attention to David.
Okay. Hello everybody. I'll just have a I'll just have everybody take 2 sets of pictures. We're gonna have you guys all raise your placket up for the first one.
No, we're not. Okay, and then for the second one, we're gonna take it over there.
Yeah.
Do we want to? Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna take the standing one. We're gonna have right where Logan and Natalie are sitting for the second one. You can do this one first. Do you guys want to wait for it?
So I'll start with this side and then I'll move over to this side.
How do you want?
Like you,
On the chair.
Do you want us to look at it?
a little bit more for this one.
You want us to smile or
Yes, a little bit more for this one.
Did you just hear my joke? We did. Yeah. I know.
Alright, so it's from Olivia. All the way to the side. I'm gonna patch your pictures of who.
You gonna what now?
Are we looking at you?
Wait, it's gonna go on.
Are we looking?
No, you're not looking at me.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Look at Emma.
Oh, like we're voting.
Yeah.
Pose.
Hi, guys. Look at Emma. He's making constant eye contact.
Okay, guys, focus.
I haven't blinked them.
Just pretend you're
Alright, so that's identity. May you have your...
You said for Olivia.
Yes, but can you just have yours just in case you...
Okay.
We'll hold this down.
Alright.
Wait, are we not like? Oh,
I really
okay,
don't.
where are we looking?
Guys.
You guys have close. Everyone look at wonderful.
So from Olivia all the way to...
Olivia, all the way.
Oh my gosh, I'm the vocal point. I'm
Are you just...
Lisa doesn't know what there is in no talk.
But this isn't everything.
You shouldn't have those. I'm holding the gavel.
Thank you. You should hold the flag and be like, I'm voting.
It says Res Life on it, so it's gonna be.
Alright, so can I have...